So
9.
it's like 7. Oh, there you go. Linaro's here as well. Linaro's here as well. So welcome everyone to the Createbase Community Call. We're gonna start off with a little, intro of who we are, what Createbase is, who I am, who Linara is, who's this, handsome guy in the middle. And then Nate's going to take us on a little tour of what is ready so far, what the team's been working on. And yeah, if anyone has any questions, please just put them in the chat. Yeah, you can, and we can hop back in the tables later. So I'll do a quick, so I am a Chloe the Dev. I guess I'd say in the NFT side of things, I'm mostly an NFT enthusiast. I love seeing, researching what can be done with cool tech. And I am one of the facilitators for the Createbase Guild. And my main goal is to support projects that want to experiment on the near blockchain to be able to do that specifically on Mintbase. And so, Lennar, I guess you can take it from there.
Hi, Chloe. Thanks. So yeah, I'm also a facilitator here for Createbase, and my job is to help you, fulfill your wonderful creative projects and try to get you on board. And we have this funding you can apply to, and we're here to help you do that and try to get your projects in the best shape so we can get those creative juices rolling. So welcome to this call, and feel free to ask us questions if you have ideas for projects, or if you already submitted projects, or you're just waiting to finish your project when Mintbase launches, which I guess should happen soon enough. Just send those questions our way, and we'll be happy to point you to the right direction, answer, and etc.
Awesome. So with that, I will let Nate go first with, whatever I know you're busy with the coding and working, so feel free to do your presentation. I'll mute myself. And then after that, we'll share a bit about our new website and the Notion and all that stuff.
All right, share screen. Here we go. All right. So, can you see my screen? Choose the application tab.
Yes, we can see your screen. I think whatever you go to now will be, perfect. We can see.
All right. So I was super naive in September, thinking that I can just add near blockchain in a month. And then realized that was very, very ridiculously naive. We had to rewrite the entire indexer, how we sync up with the chain, and we had to essentially I went down a massive rabbit hole and rewrote the entire platform. Like literally Mintbase, as you see today. Let's see this. Literally this thing, all this stuff, the backend, the graph protocol, all this stuff, not a single line of code is going into this thing. This is all new stuff. So I'm excited. It's pretty fast. There's a lot more new features. You can see we've got some voting mechanics going on. We can flag for not safe for work. These are all my different stores, all of my own independent smart contracts that I deployed myself. Here's all my different NFTs that I own. If I want to go into one of my contracts, we can hop in here. You can see I can switch between all my different smart contracts. If we want to go into Vakken, this is a big heavy metal conference that we just did a little demo for. So if I go into settings, we can actually update the image of the thing. So this is going to become your smart contract, your store. So if we actually view the thing, this is what it'll look like. Black is nice. It's a mint-based thing, but some people don't want to be full heavy metal people. Maybe want to go light mode. So this makes it a little prettier. We can now go into a whole different world. So you can see it seamlessly changes. Eventually, we can add more themes to customize whatever it is you want. The minter is pretty much what it looked like before. The transferring of the token and airdropping kind of similar. If I switch between, let's see, if we have 4 of these, then we can airdrop to all these people. Let's see, Nate.Taylor. testnet. We can airdrop to multiples. This is verifying that that is in your account. The other crazy thing that we're connecting now, which has been the real giant hurdle, is listing. So it's a pretty simple process. You can list an item for a certain amount of near, and we can split the fees out as many as we want. So Nate.testnet, we can maybe add 2. You can see the 93 went down. Maybe we want to split it to another, let's say it's your charity, some sort of charity.testnet, and this can go as many accounts as you want. So this is going to be absurdly powerful, we feel like. And it's kind of like split ownership of the NFT, but we have to realize that NFTs are powerful because we have one owner, and that's an interoperable owner that everyone recognizes as the owner. This is more of like a split revenue system that is going to hopefully blow minds. So we've got my profile has been completely updated. It's a whole new system. We have a whole follower system as well. You can follow your friends and see what they're up to. These are my sites that I put into my settings. We can update all the different settings. If I want to, we have a very beautiful uploader piece. Let's go into here. Let's say I like this as my background. This we can move this. This guy is chilling in the water. We're gonna apply it. So now my new profile is super beautiful. You'll see in the future, we're going to start dealing with multiple different accounts. So you can have multiple different near accounts tethered to this. Eventually, we'd like to get Arweave and multiple other accounts from different blockchains all feed in through here. It's a lot of work, but I'm pretty excited about it. The big thing we switched to today was languages as well. Our beautiful Chinese friends, American and Portuguese. We're going to hope to accommodate everybody. So that's the majority. Where can I get out of here? So
looks great. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
No one has any questions? Okay, yeah. So if you just got in, yes, Nate just showed off the entire what they've got so far. It is recorded, first of all, and second of all, it is streaming on our YouTube. I will get the YouTube link and pop it in the chat real quick. But with that, you should be able to just go back and watch it. So I'm gonna make sure I can find that. But as I do that, I also wanted to show off. Here, I will. Ooh, I think you have to stop sharing your screen, Nate.
I can do that.
There you go. Yeah, no worries. As we do that, I'm also going to try my best to, looks like the stream is not streaming in, but we do have the recording and I will make sure it goes up on our YouTube. I'll figure that one out. So I do want to also share the new website we have, createbase.community. So I'll post that in here. And we're going to keep editing it and hopefully having that be our central place where people can come in, just find all the information you need. So I will start sharing my entire screen and I will show, can you see the website we've got up? Let me actually.
Yeah, showing all.
Okay, perfect. So as you pop into Createbase Community, right now it's quite basic. You scroll down, you can visit our wiki. So for those that don't know, all the information you should need to get started with Createbase is all on the Notion board that we have. So if you ever will have any questions about how to get started and you can't reach either Lennar or I, you can pop into this wiki and you can figure out like all the news or for events we've had. You can see all of our socials. So if you want to get back, to the website and go to our blog, for example, we're going to keep updating this with our community call summaries, with bi-weekly posts about what's been going on with. So for example, if we can we'll get a nice little overview of what Nate just went through. We'll write a little summary about that as well, and you can see like different speakers who spoke at our past events, what they were talking about. and stuff like that. In the wiki as well, what most people here are probably interested in as well is the application process to get funding and looking at our bounties. So again, if you maybe don't know where you want to start with getting involved in Createbase, this can be a great way to see, what applications have already, gotten executed, which applications have already kind of been approved for some sort of funding. And you could even see, which bounties have also gotten funded. So you could see, maybe you can suggest to us a bounty that, is within the frames of what you see here. But it's quite simple so far. You can explore the blog, get all our socials, and this is all for the community. So if you ever see something that you think should be added to the website or you should be taken down from the website, please let us know, and we will try and make all this information more accessible for the community. So thank you for these questions as well, Dylan.
Yeah, I think we have a few questions for Nate. Right. There is one question that is asking, will a musician be able to mint X number of NFTs, for example, 1 of 1,000?
Oh, is there going to be a limit, or are we going to be able to mint, is there a blockchain limit of how many we can mint?
You can answer that, and let's see what
I'll say all the answers in my brain. So 35, it's still pretty close to what Ethereum is. There are limits to how many we can mint, but we can also solve the thousands of mints kind of the same way OpenSea is doing it with the lazy mint. The beauty of the lazy mint on Near versus Ethereum is, in Ethereum land, you still have to pay the large fee of whatever to mint is. On Near, it's really, really small. So we have block limits where we can't just mint hundreds of thousands because you just can't fit that much into a block. But when you do have to do the lazy mint, where let's say if I'm a stadium owner who has hundreds of thousands of seats and I want to mint 100,000 seats, I can say, well, if someone purchases it, then it gets minted. What's really fascinating is once they all get minted in a stadium, now all the hard part's done, and we can just trade. And then whoever the owner of it is per game, then it's just the storage is already being used on the chain, and it will be fractions of a penny to do the mint.
So yeah, I guess that answers the next question. What sort of fees are there for minting NFT on Near? And you said fractions of a penny, right? And actually, I have a question. The lazy mint you refer to, is that mint only when it sells, right?
Yep, pretty much. Okay. Or mint on demand when it's created. There's still a few things with Near. It is pretty expensive so there's a weird trade-off of where gas is stupidly cheap, but storage costs are insanely high. So when I deploy a contract on Near, it costs us around 31 Near to deploy the contract. So every single store would be 31 Near, which is pretty insane. At $2.70, that's $81 per store. We're kind of back to the same spot that we were on Ethereum. But luckily, they're coming out with this new thing called No STD, where if you deploy a store with the exact same code, like a contract factory, every single contract has the same code. Eventually, hopefully, it'll be next to nothing to actually deploy that. So they just wrote today saying that something like that should be starting to go into the mix as of next week, but you never know in blockchain land. I'm hopeful. But yeah, storage is still stupidly expensive, and that's getting sorted off as thing goes.
Right. So minting each NFT should be super, super cheap. And for deploying a contract, which in Mintbase calls open a store, you're waiting on this technical upgrade, so it can become also most likely very cheap too. But
yep.
Cool.
Yeah, that seems like a wonderful update to come out, because obviously we can have a Mint-based store and a Create-based store. We can get people coming in and minting for relatively fractions of a penny, just coming in mint whatever you want, which is wonderful. But having community members to be able to come out and create their own store for $1, whatever, $1 or $2 would be wonderful. A lot more accessible.
And
sorry, go ahead, Nate.
even if it does almost stay the same cost to deploy the store and to mint the tokens as Ethereum, what we will get, regardless of all that, is ridiculously cheap transactions. So once you have the NFT, then moving it around is ridiculously cheap. So I think that's kind of where we're excited to start checking the innovation at. Is like, okay, once we've minted all these things, no longer we're interested in the collectible side, but we want to see them actually being used and moved and transferred and burnt and moved around and in all sorts of ways. I think.
Yeah, and on that side, I think that the 1 second block time and one block finality is kind of the things I think that we're going to start really seeing the use case of. Because I mean, on Ethereum, I think one of the hardest things is, okay, fine, you've paid the money to mint it, like you're saying, you've done all this work, and
I'm
then
not moving it. That thing's expensive.
exactly. If you buy like
right there.
a Beeple piece or something like that, you know, like you're spending all this money to move it, and sure, but like if you're buying like a $10 piece of art or a $20 piece of art, how are you supposed to ever afford to actually move this to people?
Yep.
Like I know I gave away the wings for the Advent calendar event, and you know, gave away probably 200 wings. And you know, 60 cents each for 200 wings that are free is quite obtuse. And so, yeah, I'm very excited for people to be able to really just, like, yes, make your art, have fun, but how about let's actually like get our art into the hands of as many people as possible without going broke.
Like, yep, and allowing developers to start interacting with them and move them around and burning them. And I've always wanted to like just burn the tickets at the stadium to like really get, I own the ticket, I burnt the ticket, it's done its job, it no longer exists, scarcity is a thing. But then burning at check-in would be absurd. Like,
yeah,
and I think that's really cool because when storage costs money on Ethereum, when storage costs money on Near, it actually, and transactions are cheap, it actually makes it a lot more efficient because now instead of, you know, your contract having all the storage you don't need, you're burning that storage, and so you're not paying for it and having your Near locked up for no reason if someone just has a bunch of tickets to these events that they're not actually using. Where, you know, if you actually, yeah, I like how things are done, and I'm excited to see the implications that developers like actually get going in this.
So we have a few more questions. And one of them is, will there be an API to allow other devs to build their own specialist front end?
Yeah, let me try to take over a little screen here. Okay. So let's see what happens here. I'm drinking a mate, not a beer, by the way. It's pumped with caffeine, and that's about
whatever
it.
Keeps you coding.
Yeah.
The question is, when tokenized club?
Ooh, good question. I am struggling to find something. Scheisse. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Wait, gosh dang it. There we go. Okay, so Hashira. So Hashira is our new graph. So I could show, let's go log in. So basically we have an indexer saving into, I think it's this one. Here we are, mint. All right, so you guys are gonna essentially get this. This will be your ecosystem to do whatever you want. So you can see, if you guys have messed with the graph, it's pretty similar. It's all in GraphQL. We have our data structure is pretty similar. It's store, thing, token. It's basically those three things. There's a store, which is your contract, a thing, which is an item, and then each item can have multiple tokens to that thing. So we'll have a store, we'll have a thing, we'll have the ID of the thing. That's it. So, and then each one of these things is your Arweave hash. So we can go in here, we can go into arweave.net/, and this gives us our metadata on Arweave. So let's say we want to find a store. Let's do a store where ID equals, let's call this thing. So there is no store called thing, but let's go into localhost. Let's go into the minter. let's go into new store. Oh, I was just messing with this today, so if it breaks, I'm sorry. So thing, we're going to create a store called thing. Yeah, I was just messing with this today. Oh, actually it's going, nice. Okay, so it's going to cost me 31 near tokens to deploy the thing. As soon as it goes and confirms, it'll update. And now we've confirmed it on the chain and it redirects me to my thing. So here we have a deployed smart contract. Now if I come into here and we don't have the thing, right? It's an empty array. So we just do that. Look at that. We just created it, but we have 0 things. Now let's mint a quick token. Let's do this. Let's do an image. DevCon Dacha, beautiful place in Berlin, one of my favorites. So we'll call this thing, some other stuff. Okay, so now we're going to mint the token. And this is how fast it's going to actually confirm on mainnet. So as soon as I click allow, it's going to, in the indexer in the cloud, will confirm on the confirmation, will update, and we see the token almost directly after that. So it's already gone through the process and it's already confirmed. Now I press this again, we can see here's our thing. We can come up here, go back into rweave.net/this thing, and then we can even see the picture of our Dacha thing. So that's
great compared to like trying to do transactions with a slow gas to save and then being stuck for like a week or something.
Yeah, right? I'm cheap, so I used to always mint at like the cheap prices and have to wait so long to end up seeing the data. So this is amazing to know you can see the data within a second or two, and as great, incredible job that you guys have done so far.
Yeah, and you guys will be able to hook in with like Apollo and just basically hit this endpoint, and you can get all of this data the same as what we get. So it's pretty powerful tool. And then of course there's also one other thing. Let's go back into our contract. Okay, so here's my thing. We just created this. Let's go into settings. So we can even go into our transactions. We can go on the near chain. We can see that this is our new contract. So here's our base. This will probably be mintbase.near. Here's your contract address that you created thing. So this is your new domain. Mintbase doesn't own it. This is your world. You deployed it. We just keep track of all the state changes, and so that you can build your own websites on your own time. But you can see we called the mint token 2 minutes ago. And as we mint more and transfer more, you'll start seeing all of your transactions in this one little domain. You'll see how much storage is being used. And yeah, it's you can hit this if you want using their Ethers.js, which is like their near AI deal. All right. Hopefully that made sense to question marks.
Yeah, thank you so much for showing that as well. I think it will help a lot of the developers that are interested in like what they're going to be able to have access to. That definitely helps me.
Krista said 31 near question mark. Yeah, what we were talking about is that it should be closer to 0 once they solve this no STD thing. It's deeper than what I would really know. But if we deploy the exact same code every single time, which is what our contract factory is, then it should be closer to 0. Yep.
Yeah, and they said, from what I heard, they should have at least some implementation of it by next week, like the near team. But that that would have testing and whatever else. So I'm sure Nate and team will keep us updated. I'm sure they want to get that released as soon as possible as well.
Yes, please. That's why I've been in my whole.
Exactly. Changes the game for a lot of people. Gemini Rising, I agree. That is something we're all looking forward to be. And a lot of it is removing a lot of the standard libraries that come with regular Rust development. And so because these contracts are being written on the blockchain, you don't need a lot of those same like checks that you would need outside of the blockchain. And so being able to remove a lot of that, and the storage is the same. So why keep reusing code that you don't need? So it makes a lot of sense, but it's not always easy to implement. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, optimization. Hope it comes soon too.
So Dylan asks, what's the roadmap for Mintbase live on Near?
We are trying our bestest to get something usable this month on testnet where we can mess around, we can follow each other and start seeing a feed run through, mint tokens, create stores, do a bunch of weird stuff. And then we'll end up migrating most of that data over to the mainnet, not the mints, obviously, but the following and the this, that, and the other. So this month is my own personal, like, oh my God, I need to get this out mode. But obviously we won't deploy anything that we think is not quite there. So doing our best this month.
Looks pretty awesome so far. So excited to be able to try and break it myself.
Cool. Any other questions? Feel free to type in the chat, and Nate has still a few more minutes to answer.
For sure, yeah. If you have questions, also if you want to end up coming on stage and show us what you're doing, I know Vandal was talking about doing that eventually. I know Laura might have video content to maybe share. If not, no pressure whatsoever. We'll have another call in 2 weeks. But yeah, if you have any questions, please ask them quickly for Nate so he can get back to coding. One more. So, will Mintbase have any form of fiat gateway to do fiat near transactions for the poor people who don't know about crypto yet?
Yeah, we had a Stripe integration. Vandal was one of our first people. Same with Elon, I think, also did a little testing on our. It was a pretty neat process. We onboarded people the same way Uber drivers get onboarded with Stripe. So we do KYC through the minters who decide to take fiat, and so they're in control of their own domain. It was really neat. That is specifically just for NFT delivery. So not in the short term. What really stinks about doing this fiat on-ramp is you kind of lose a lot of the neat stuff that we're about to be doing, like the split ownership, split fees, split revenue. All that is token based. As soon as you want to start interacting with that sort of stuff, then you have to sort of buy the near token, not just the NFT. And then you start getting into some weird legal situation of becoming a money service. So short answer, probably not for 6 months.
Right. Yeah, but I think what's going to happen is that third-party solutions are probably going to pop up, pretty soon, like you're saying, in a few months, and people will be able to use that. So I think this kind of temporary while near still kind of catching traction until this come up.
Yeah, and then with the API as well, I think a large part of like this is like Mintbase becoming this primitive in the near space where like anybody can build whatever they want on top, and I think that's really cool because then if someone from a certain country does have the ability to be a payment service, then they can do that and use the API, build their website, KYC people, and do that. So hopefully, as Mintbase becomes more and more primitive in the space, larger and larger projects are coming on top of that and offering these other cool features that the community wants.
Yep, and Thor, who's taken a lot of the charge of our Rust contract world. Thank God I've kind of stepped back a lot on the Rust side, if not all, just doing a lot of the normal updates. If anyone's interested in getting involved in basically making the Net4 a little bit nicer, show your interest in the Createbase channel. We'll hop you into Thor's new world. The goal is to standardize the NFTs a little bit better than the Net4. The Net4 is kind of missing out on a few big things like how to give approval and how to allow platforms to move tokens around and that sort. So let us know.
Yeah, that's definitely a huge issue. Even with OpenSea, you go and you approve the transferring, which is great for fees, but then it's like, what if OpenSea just transfers all your assets?
And also, basically, we have a chance to, do it better than, Ethereum. Instead of just replicating like a really bare bones standard, doing something better now that there's all these lessons learned from, previous blockchain experiences. Why not take advantage and improve it? I think it's a great opportunity, really.
Yep. Approval. Yep.
So if that's all the questions, we will let Nate get back to the coding. And I know, Vandal, if you still want to come up on stage and present anything, we can invite you up on stage. I will. There you go. There you go. I provided you. There we go.
And I just want to say one last thing. I just want to thank everybody for your patience. It's been, I know we said we were going to have something out like months ago. It's been heart-wrenching with how long it's been taking, but we're totally getting this shit done, and I'm really excited to show it off when it's ready. So thanks for the patience.
You're very welcome. See you soon.
Yeah, thank you, Nate.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Awesome. Hey there, Vandal. How have you been?
It's been good. It's been a bit crazy. I've been participating in the kernel, as some of you here have also been. But mainly, I just wanted to come on and say hi to everybody, the new people in the chat and in the group, and just let you know that I'm here doing the music stuff. So I've had a chance, to catch up with a few people already. So if there's anyone out there who wants to talk music, I spoke to, funny, Dylan and I connected on LinkedIn, and then we had a call and talked about music and blockchain and stuff. And here he is in Createbase, and just gearing up also for doing a bit more when it comes to the audio NFT side here, not only with Createbase, but a bit closer with Near and some of the other projects like TYGS, which is something that I'll get into later. But I really just wanted to share what's going on today. So today we're doing an audio NFT launch. It's going to be in CryptoVoxels at 11 a.m. PST. So that's in about an hour and 10 minutes or so.
Feel free to drop the link in the chat.
I'm definitely going to drop the link in the chat. And, I guess with the gas prices being what they are these days, I've been sort of opting to use the OpenSea's Lazy Mint, which I think was an amazing and timely feature. And I'm glad that that's something that, Nate and the team are looking to include as well. Just the crazy challenges of gas and everything.
Paying gas to mint something before you even sold it is wild. So
I know, yeah, and so this is, I think, really promising for what the team in Midbase is doing with Near, and I know we're all expectations, let's get there, but at the same time, I think to be realistic. These things do take time. And I think in the meantime, we have some of the solutions that we can utilize. So
yeah, and it seems like it's going along really well with actually so many extra features that it is really like a brand.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see how it's going to evolve, and how we can do the music thing and really kind of add on to what Createbase is doing and build this community. I think more than anything, community is the most important thing. Bad link. Okay, let me check the link. It's with an S. My bad. Okay, hold on. Yeah. So I don't know if anybody has music related audio NFT questions.
If anyone has any audio NFT questions now, you can ask them. After this, we will head back to the tables, and there is an audio NFT table. It's a table. If you don't really know much about Near yet, I'll be probably sitting at that. I'll be sitting at that the getting to know Near table, and then we'll have other tables for getting to know each other and getting group members for different projects. So if you have a project that you think you might want to get started on Createbase, definitely feel free to talk about that as well, and we can kind of help move those ideas into an actual formulated proposal for an application. So Dylan, I think those hundreds of questions will be great for a table discussion. If that's all from all of us, I am going to end this session. Thank you so much for everyone. See you all at the tables. Please come say hi and all that good stuff.
See you in the tables.